Seven contexts in the communication field. Context: environments in which communication takes place. Situational context: environments that are limited by such factors as the number of people present, the feedback, the space between communicators, among others. Intrapersonal communication: communication with oneself. It is an internal dialogue and may take place even in the presence of another individual. Interpersonal communication is what goes on inside your head even when you are with someone. Interpersonal communication is usually more repetitive than other communication. We engage in it many times. Interpersonal communication: face-to-face communication between people, investigating how relationships begin, the maintenance of relationships, and the dissolution of relationships characterizes much of the interpersonal. Small group communication. Small groups are composed of a number of people who work together to achieve some common purpose. Small group communication is defined as communication among at least three individuals. The number in a group is not as important as the implications of the number. The more people, the greater the opportunity for more personal relationships to develop. People are influenced by the presence of others. For example, some small groups are very cohesive, which means having a high degree of togetherness and a common bond. This cohesiveness may influence whether the group functions effectively and efficiently. In addition, the small group context affords individuals a chance to gain multiple perspectives on an issue. In the interpersonal context, an individual views events from his or her own perspective. In the interpersonal context, there are more perspectives. In the small group context, many more people have the potential to contribute to the group's goals. This exchange of multiple perspectives results in synergy and explains why small groups may be more effective than individuals at achieving goals. Networking and role behavior are two important components of small group behavior. Networks are communication patterns through which information flows, and networks in small groups answer the following questions: who speaks to whom and in what order? The patterns of interaction in small groups may vary significantly. The small group context is made up of individuals who take on various roles, or the position of group members and their relationship to the group. These roles may be very diverse, including task leader, passive observer, active listener, recorder, and so forth. Cohesiveness: the degree of togetherness between and among communicators. Synergy: the intersection of multiple perspectives in a small group. Networks: communication patterns through which information flows. Roles: positions of group members and their relationship to the group. Organizational communication. Organizational communication pertains to communication within and among large, extended environments. What distinguishes this context from others that a clearly defined hierarchy exists in most organizations. Hierarchy is an organizing principle whereby things or persons are ranked one above the other. For an example of the hierarchy in many colleges and universities. Organizations are unique in that much of the communication taking place is highly structured, and role playing is often specialized and predictable. Public or rhetorical communication, the dissemination of information from one person to a large group. In public speaking, speakers usually have three primary goals in mind: to inform, to entertain, or to persuade. The latter goal, persuasion, is at the core of rhetorical communication. Many of the principles of persuasion, including audience analysis, speaker credibility, and verbal and nonverbal delivery of a message, are necessary part of the persuasive process.
Mass or media communication. Mass media refers to the channels or delivery modes for mass message. Mass media include newspapers, videos, CD-ROMs, computers, TV, radio, and so forth. Cultural communication. Cultural communication refers to communication between and among individuals whose cultural backgrounds vary.
Thank you for listening.